The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. Oh my god, it has been, 2 months since the last one? This is not acceptable to me. Seriously, it is not. I kind of hate it. Schedule slipping's a pain in the ass. But on the plus side, this is the day this goes out is going to be the first episode of 2018. So happy 2018! Woo! I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, and with me is Erin Mills, aka DubiousKhan.
Hello, happy whatever.
Yes, and the cat.
I feel like Erin just put happy with quotation marks in them. Happy whatever, people.
Yeah.
No, that's just my that's just become my standard thing around the holidays. I'm tired of everybody screaming and yelling about what the correct terminology is, so I just decided happy whatever the hell you celebrate.
That works. I don't blame you. The one thing that I do get a little iffy about over the holidays, and I have and will probably likely go off on it again, is the fictitious war on Christmas that for whatever reason, I want to say Fox News as a whole, but I'm singling out Bill O'Reilly because I think he's the one who kind of popularized it. I think. I'm not sure. But, people like him that say, oh, you're taking Christmas out. Motherfucker, you start putting Christmas things out before Halloween hits, so shut the fuck up.
You know, and it's not like Happy Holidays is meant to replace Christmas. We call the entire period from Thanksgiving to New Year's the holidays.
Yeah. Because
they're so close to each other.
Yeah.
So
it's like between Christmas, we got Hanukkah, I think Kwanzaa as well. And of course,
Kwanzaa's in there usually. Hanukkah is occasional. Hanukkah is weird. Hanukkah moves around the calendar, from what I understand. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's never. It's not like a set. It's not like a set series of days on any given thing. It's near the end of the year, but I think a couple of years ago, I think it started in late November, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I feel like Hanukkah, I don't know if you could say it started early this year, but I definitely saw Happy Hanukkah floating around Facebook.
Well, Hanukkah started on the 12th of December this year. So. Right.
So yeah, it's still, as long as if it stays between the whole Thanksgiving and New Year's, to me I count it as that. So
yeah.
Then of course New Year's, which we're recording this on New Year's Eve, and of course, like I said, this is going to be out first day of 2018.
Can I just take a moment while we're disputing holidays? If you really want to scream about something in the holidays that shouldn't be there, can we just admit to ourselves that Festivus is not a real holiday and never has been, and how much it pisses me off that America has embraced a goddamn concept from a sitcom that was over 15 years ago? Has it been 15 years since Seinfeld went off the air? I don't know. I don't care. I hated that show. It's like if I see people celebrating Festivus like it's a thing, I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. But I honestly, until recently, I had no idea Festivus was even a thing in any kind of television show. I never kept up on Seinfeld, so all I know is it had comedy bit at the beginning of each show. It had Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who very dazzling, and then Michael Richards, who besides doing that racist tirade was also the weird janitor guy from UHF. That's about all I get. And Jason Alexander is in there somewhere.
Basically, Seinfeld is the story of the everyday lives of four horrible, self-absorbed people. That's what it is.
There you go. I will accept that. But speaking of media that we have seen, I think all of us have at this point have seen The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. I love it. I thought it was good. I think Erin and I both did vlogs on it. Kat, do you have any thoughts on it? If there's going to be spoilers, just I'll mark the time or whatever.
I did a whole podcast on it already over at Nerd of the Third, but I can tell you that I enjoyed it quite a lot. But as soon as I got home, I started thinking a little too much about it and realized how many things were wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. I can
enjoying
see
it and will not stop me from continuing to enjoy it in the future.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. Oh, and like I said,
well, my thing is for me, it was good, but all the big like releases that came out during the holiday season this year that everybody's been going gaga about for one reason or another, my opinion has just been, that was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I like Star Wars, but I am not a huge Star Wars fan. I don't think they're the greatest movies ever made. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for them, even though, like everyone else, I grew up watching the original trilogy and all that. You know, and so every time like, with all the outrage going on right now, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, would you get a life, please? I mean, it may just be because I'm getting older, and it may be because I'm getting older, and, you know, it's just like, whatever. It may just be I'm getting old and bitter and whatnot. I don't know, but it's just like I look at it and I think, oh, children.
It's like,
because I've had my moments. I have had my moments when I was young and stupid and in my 20s, if that's not redundant. But but you know, I've had my moments and I've done things. I did things in my 20s fandom related that I am not proud of. Nothing as extreme as what seems to be happening today, but still pretty bad.
Yeah.
And fortunately, the other party involved in that situation accepted my apology when it was pointed out to me how much of an asshole I was being. So, you know, and I've endeavored ever since then to not do that kind of thing again.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, you know, just like sometimes I just look at this and I'm going, really? This is what you're getting bent out of shape about? I don't know.
When we were young and dumb and in our 20s, again, redundant, the internet wasn't as much of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, not like it is now, where we're constantly glued to our social media, because for some people that's how we make money. Not me, obviously, but other people. So, like, when I was young and dumb and getting into fandoms, there wasn't like a whole lot in terms of social media and the internet for me to unleash my fandoms on. So all I had was, you know, like my immediate circle and a little bit of an outer circle, but not much more than that. So we didn't have the same reactions, say, when the prequel trilogy came out as we do now, even though they were awful and there was a lot of outrage that has continued to today. But it doesn't seem like as much because we didn't all have Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter coming at us 24/7. Just throwing that out there.
And then people are throwing it out, and I love seeing this. Tony Goldmark retweeted a thread on Twitter that I really enjoyed, where somebody had to point out, movies are not canon delivery vehicles.
Yes.
You just enjoy the movie, please, without, you know. I mean, admittedly, you know, the video reviewer culture, which admittedly, at the very least, we all contributed to at some point or another, and still do. I mean, it kind of started this whole super nitpicky, let's call anything we don't understand a plot hole kind of nonsense, and it's kind of just metastatized into this bizarre cancer across just about any form of media you want. I mean, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I got into a massive, on a more minor release that was a few months ago. I saw the My Little Pony movie a few months ago. I am a pony fan. I'm not going to apologize for that. I do not consider myself a brony. I did for a while, and then the fandom started getting really, really fucking stupid. So they put out the My Little Pony movie, and it was all right. It's not great. It's not like spectacular, but it's fun. I mean, and it's a gorgeous movie. If you've seen the trailers, it is actually a very well animated movie. But the plot's a little by the numbers, and it has some pacing issues. No big deal. Regardless, the creators of the movie, the people who run the official accounts and tied everything to the show and whatnot, they put out a statement saying, yes, the movie takes place between season 7, which just wrapped, and season 8, which is coming up. And immediately the bronies went, but that makes no sense! Twilight's not acting like she did in season 7! Yeah, because the script was written back around the beginning of season 5.
Oops.
And there's a point where the script has to be locked to go into production.
Yeah.
There is nothing in the movie that contradicts anything that happened in season 7, except for fans screaming, but my continuity! Movies are not canon delivery vehicles.
No, they are not. And to all the people that to bring it back to Last Jedi real quick, all the people who are saying that these older characters, Luke, Leia, etc., aren't acting the way that they did the originals. First of all, it's been 30 goddamn years especially in universe. It's been 30 goddamn years. People change in 30 years. Like, hi, that's just the way it's gonna be. You're not going to have the same Luke Skywalker who came from Tatooine and ended up battling Vader in front of the Emperor over the moons of Endor. Same person, but not the same attitude. Not, he's going to be different. He's going to have grown as a person. I mean, things happen to him.
You could arguably see that in Return of the Jedi anyway.
This is true.
At the beginning of Return of the Jedi, Luke is very brash and arrogant. He thinks he can just stroll in there and be all badass and Jabba's palace, and we all saw how that went for him, right?
Yeah.
He had everything under control. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then, arguably, after the fight on the second Death Star and all that, that was kind of the beginning of the disillusionment of Luke Skywalker, shall we say?
Yeah. So the people who like, sorry.
Anyway, the whole thing made perfect sense to me. Yoda became a hermit. Obi-Wan became a hermit. Why wouldn't Luke become a hermit?
Exactly. So yeah, that is yeah. Oh god. So I'm trying to springboard from here onto another big thing that this episode does mark, not just the beginning of 2018, but this episode actually marks 10 years, well, a couple of days early, but 10 years since Thespian Talk has been any sort of an internet entity. For a quick recap of a little bit of history for those who don't know, I started this in 2008 in just like a little trailer with a friend of mine. We talked about, pretty much similar format as we do now, although with a lot more sound bits here and there, because I was emulating a show called 2 Cents, which was on at the time, and it inspired a lot of the formatting for this show in particular. But that went for, kind of got into schedule slippy territory for a couple of years. And then I ended up rebooting the numbering back in 2010, which is why instead of, I think we're at episode 100 something or whatever, I have technically done over 200, but with the renumberings being started and all of that, I just, it's where it is now. But as an entity, this has been a thing for 10 years. Holy shit. And I was lying in bed the other night, and I'm sitting there thinking, this has been 10 years. This is the longest thing I've ever put out on the internet ever. I mean, I've tried doing web comics, like little sprite comics over the years. We've seen how I've done with like video reviews, Let's Plays. Of course, they've been kind of hit or miss here and there, and a lot of that this year, of course, has been because I've been on the road driving, with scheduling, and of course being able to get a goddamn good internet connection, among other things. So schedule slipping has been there, but yeah, 10 years. Just goddamn. Whew. But yeah, I did want to make note of that, and if it had come to me, sooner, and if I'd realized that things were going to play out the way they did, I should have planned something a little bit better, maybe a live stream or something. But yeah, that is on me. But one thing that has been added over the 10 years is our little shout out section, because we like to go and we see things on the internet, and we like to share those things with you, our listeners, however many of you are still out there and actually waiting around for us, which I am so sorry for your wait. But right before I get into the shout outs, though, I do want to mention we are on Stitcher now. I got everything set up, and we're now accessible through Stitcher. So if you want to listen through Stitcher instead of iTunes, or waiting to go on the site or SoundCloud or whatever, there you go. Stitcher's your place to go. I think that link should be in the doobly-doo as well. I'll make sure that's there because I don't have it in front of me like a dumbass. But for now, we have our shout-outs, and of course, as with every episode that I've been doing since it's become a thing, circleplus.co, go check that out. It is a site primarily based on... I can speak, I swear.
Try again.
Yes, try again. Circle Plus is a site that is run by and features women producers, female producers, women producers. You have podcasts, videos. It's basically, it's all good. And in fact, Miss Nightmare, who is also part of our site, is also on Circle Plus as well. Just to throw a name out there that you guys might recognize. There's also their main podcast, Late Night with Bisexuals, run by Holly Christine and Lady Jess, which they've also, we both have had the same issues with like schedule slips and everything because everybody's been so goddamn busy. But what they do have up there, I highly recommend you go listen to it. They are just absolute. They're just an absolute delight to listen to. And if you haven't done so, go listen to them. But I do, however, believe I have one other shout out, perhaps. And while I dig that up, Erin, do you have any particular shout outs?
Yes, actually, I do for the change since I haven't had anything for the last few weeks. There's a channel of someone who has just started doing a series of vlogs. She goes by the alias of Phoenix 11. She is a lovely British lady. She pretty much just does vlogs for right now. She's been doing unboxing videos, assorted vlogs on related things. And, of course, as has become tradition, what she calls her wholly original concept of reviewing movies from Cars. So check her out over there, youtube.com/Phoenix11. That is 11, which is the number 11. And, check her out. She's got some good stuff. It's fun.
Nice. Kat, do you happen to have any shout-outs of any kind?
For once, yes.
Holy shit.
It's the only kind of shout out I'm capable of giving right now for like the last year, which is a channel on YouTube called In Deep Geek. And the guy, Robert, who runs it, basically does a lot of theory videos about Game of Thrones, which is all I watch on YouTube. I swear to God, it is all I watch. It gets me through the season break and while the season is on, and pretty much 24/7. It's killing me that we're on a season break right now, and that.
Okay. I thought Game of Thrones had ended after this most recent season. I guess
no,
I was wrong.
There's one more season, but it's going to be like probably not until 2019. So the theories and speculation are running pretty rampant, and there's supposed to be another book coming out. So theory channels are popping up all over the place. But In Deep Geek is a really good one. I'm really fascinated with his series on the religions of A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, and are they actually are any of the gods real, and does it actually matter if they're real or not? It's really interesting stuff. Just YouTube search In Deep Geek and just watch all of his videos. They're very fascinating, and this dude is British and has this amazing it's like watching a nature documentary. He's got that very soft British voice where he's talking to you today about this theory from Game of Thrones, and it's just so soothing to listen to. I just
and here we see Daenerys in her 314th rape scene of the series.
It's a little bit like that.
Oh no.
Not like that content, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just heard that, and that was just the first thing that popped into my head. I apologize.
Oh.
It is they're very soothing, and I just put them on while I'm at work and listen to conspiracies and theories while I'm at work.
There you go.
Gets me through the day.
Ah, yes. But that does sound like something Becky would do, as in my girlfriend Becky. And I make that distinction because my shout out for this particular week, I don't think I've shouted her out on the show before, but I'm shouting out a different Becky, who is also an animator, who also went to the same school as my dear girlfriend, Rebecca Parham, who has a YouTube channel, Let Me Explain Studios. and she has all sorts of fun little animations, little live bits. She's also a classically trained singer. She's basically what you get if you combine Becky and me into one really, really awesome animator lady. So go check her out. She is at Let Me Explain Studios on YouTube. I'll make sure all the links are in the doobly-doo. That way you guys can just look down there. Boop. Click it. There you go. So yeah, that is going to be it for our shout-outs. Oh, lordy. But yeah, so with that, let's go ahead and hit up our news for this week. I was debating on how far back to go, considering it had been a couple of months since we've been able to do a show, but I decided to just, you know what, let's go ahead and just keep with this particular week. Not going to go too deep into things. I'll probably send a few barbs here and there because we all know how the political situation is holding out, but, you know, no guarantees one way or the other. But since we did bring up, you know, the whole holiday season and the fictitious war on Christmas thing earlier, just so happens our first news story comes out of Vacaville. Oh God, I don't even remember what state because my dumbass forgot to put it in there. But anyway, a Vacaville family received an anonymous letter in the mail calling them Scrooges for not decorating their home in a neighborhood where many homeowners put up elaborate displays. But the family had a good reason for not decorating, and they are receiving a lot of support on social media. The letter calls them disrespectful, rude, and selfish because they didn't decorate. But homeowner Lindia Ivezara actually loves to decorate. Her mom, Cherry, hand-painted many decorations over the years, which are usually proudly displayed in the family's yard this time of year. But Cherry passed away from cancer very recently. Due to grief over the loss of her mother, Lindia refrained from decorating this year. So, you know, her mother literally just died. So obviously, you're not gonna be in the mood to do anything when a relative dies. Obviously, relative, close friend, whoever. But even with this, the neighbors in the other people in this neighborhood are basically dicks. You know, even with or without this, they're dicks. Yeah. Just really. And yes, I have a copy of the letter here.
Looking at the way this is done, I just keep reading this. I read this and I hear the voice of Jim Sterling's Duke to Hardcore reading this thing, and it's...
Yes. Oh, and you know what? You've given me the inspiration. I'm going to attempt to imitate that voice. Shout out Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling, you are awesome. I am going to make sure, and people other places in the house are going to wonder what the hell is going on. So okay, this is the letter verbatim, and if you click on the link in the show notes and the doobly-doo, you'll be able to see this for yourself. To live on Lollipop Lane and Candy Cane Lane is an honor and a privilege. The honor, privilege, and the huge responsibility of decorating the houses is a decades-old tradition that the residents of Candy Cane Lane and Lollipop Lane take very seriously. The tradition the entire city of Vacaville and surrounding communities love and have enjoyed for decades. It is completely unacceptable to not decorate a house for Christmas if you live on Candy Cane Lane or Lollipop Lane. Those that will not respect this long-standing tradition to decorate their house on Candy Cane Lane and Lollipop Lane should not be living on these special streets. Pause for a moment while I take a swig of water. It is extremely disrespectful, rude, and selfish to not decorate a house on these two special and unique streets for the holidays, and tens of thousands of people wish all the Scrooges would not destroy our city's traditions for their own selfish reasons. Thank you, the entire city of Vacaville, surrounding communities, residents of Lollipop Lane, residents of Candy Cane Lane, our families, our friends, everyone! Oh.
Royston! Fetch the hot chocolate! We have houses to visit! Oh.
Yes! Just, if this isn't this is some waspy motherfucking shit. You know that the people who wrote this are so white that just, oh wow.
It's the whitest thing you can do.
Yeah. And I mean, and again, it's bad enough that they're doing this because, oh my god, how dare you not be uniform to the rest of our neighborhood. But
how dare you not drink this wintry Kool-Aid?
I know, right? I mean, it's like, eesh.
Wasn't there a movie about this? That Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis piece of shit? Wasn't there a movie about this very exact thing?
That sounds
based on a book that John Grisham wrote, Skipping Christmas or something like that?
Might be.
Sounds legit.
Yeah. It does. But just, what the hell? It's like, guys, okay. I highly doubt anybody who's listening to us is going to be in this situation because y'all aren't assholes. But if you are around somebody like this, and if you find a waspy motherfucker like this in your neighborhood, slap him. Figuratively or physically, preferably figuratively, because, I don't want to see any of you guys go to jail. But just go up and at least chew them the fuck out. Because, yeah, you want to talk about unacceptable. This honestly is very, it's disrespectful and rude and selfish. Really? I mean, selfish is not inherently a bad thing. Obviously the homeowner had her reasons. Her mother died, So, but disrespectful and rude to who? You? And who the fuck are you? You're just some asshole who lives 3 houses down. Or wherever. If you don't like it, then fuck off. Is basically what it comes down to. So Kat, do you have anything else to add on this one?
The easiest solution is to not care what other people think, or not care about other people. Stop being so fucking nosy about people having Christmas lights up, you goddamn asshole. Stop assuming that everything is a personal attack on yourself and start thinking of other people as, I don't know, people. People have problems. People have reasons for the things that they do. Just because you are not privy to them doesn't mean that they don't exist. So stop being such assholes to your neighbors. If it's so important to have the Christmas spirit in your neighborhood, then fucking show some.
Yeah. And you brought up nosy neighbors, which is something I didn't even think about when I was going on my little tirade, because I can actually kind of relate to the whole nosy neighbors thing. The difference is, I'm in small town Graceville, Florida, okay, which has the Baptist College of Florida in it. So, we got a bunch of nosy Baptists around here. Thankfully, the kind of nosy that my neighbors usually would be is basically the concern troll type thing. Like, hey, is everything okay? Like, if we had something similar like this here, like where everybody else on the street put up lights and for whatever reason we didn't, somebody would be like, hey, is everything okay? They wouldn't pull this kind of I want to say passive aggressive bullshit, but I don't know how passive this is. Okay, so yeah, they wouldn't pull this bullshit. So yeah, my neighbors down here could be nosy, but at least they're concerned. They do have a genuine concern. Erin, do you have any other thoughts on this?
Oh, God, do I ever. I want to go. Now I just want to go to this place, buy a house on one of these streets, and deliberately, buy it in, June, and then deliberately not put up Christmas lights in that neighborhood. That's how petty I feel about this. It's like, you want to be petty? I'll show you fucking petty. And then when people complain, I just come out there, like I did years ago, and managed to scare Jehovah's Witnesses away from my house forever with a scythe, just come out on the front stoop and... Can I help you?
Yeah, that would do
Oh my
it.
God. What if you did decorate your house all for Christmas, but instead of Christmas lights, it's all just like dicks. So they don't notice it until they get a little closer, and then all the lights are dicks, and all the decorations are like middle fingers. And
I put lights on the house, which from the street you can't tell, but it's a giant fuck you.
yeah, like we need to do this now. We need to go to that person's house and decorate their house with dicks and middle fingers.
Yes.
And explicit words.
Oh yes, that would be awesome. The House of Dicks.
Oh, and not on a related note, I looked this up while Gomer was ranting. Yes, the movie I'm thinking of is Christmas with the Cranks.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis are a couple whose kids have all grown up, so they decide they're not going to do Christmas that year because their kids can't make it back, so they were just going to go on vacation, and then Dan Aykroyd and Emmett Walsh get all crazy about it. So.
Yeah. Oh God. That sounds like a hell of a movie. Oof.
It was terrible. I think they did a Nostalgia Critic on it a few years ago. I'm not sure.
They might have. I've been kind of intermittently hitting a few Nostalgia Critic episodes here and there, though. I think the most recent one I saw was, I think it was the Rhapsody Street Kids video.
Yeah, I tend to watch those ones more than the big fully produced ones anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, and I watched the Rhapsody Street Kids one because I actually saw that raw. Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm a media masochist, so of course. But speaking of masochism, we're gonna come to Florida. Little town called Davie, where this is just what the fuck random. Davie, Florida, a local 10 News photojournalist had quite a scare when a giant iguana fell from the sky and landed on his minivan, cracking the front windshield. The freak accident happened while Dan Palma was traveling home from work Thursday. Palma said he was driving on Nova Drive in Davie when the iguana apparently fell off of a tree and landed on the windshield of his car. Well, now, if we'd put the spikes in the trees, the iguana wouldn't have been there. The iguana seemed to be okay and decided to hang out on the minivan, scratching the vehicle as the leaping lizard crawled onto the roof. Palma said he eventually used a broom to get the reptile off the minivan. Just random reptiles. At least it's an iguana. They're a little easier to handle than, say, a fucking alligator. But
now I've heard of a rain of frogs, but not of a rain of iguanas. I don't think that's one of the biblical signs of doom, but
it sounds like the apocalypse, but in Florida.
Yeah, pretty much. The apocalypse is starting and it's in Davie. Just suddenly iguana. Because that's what happens when you drive around in Florida, apparently.
From the makers of Suddenly Grenades, Suddenly Iguana. Just take this handy 2-foot sphere, chuck it in a room, and 10 seconds later, suddenly Iguana.
Yes.
Oh my God. I would buy this product. Suddenly Iguana. God,
yes.
I hate this.
Oh lordy. Oh, that one I had to put in there because just random. What the hell? And of course,
it's a funny story. I mean, nobody got hurt. The guy didn't get hurt. The iguana didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
Funny. It's the benign kind of Florida story that we like.
Yes.
Instead of normal Florida stories.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, we had to start with the good one because now I do have several Florida stories in here, just to give everybody else who's listening a heads up. This one is gonna be just this one I'm glad this is another one. I'm glad nobody was hurt. The person was caught in time and everything, but this guy is absolutely bug nuts. A Palm Coast man rigged the front door of his home with wiring attached to a car battery charger in an attempt to electrocute his pregnant wife, Flagler County Sheriff's investigator said. Okay, all that aside, dude, that is not a way to make. That's not the way to convince your wife to have an abortion. Don't do it. And also, if you're the type of guy who is going to try and convince a woman to have an abortion, shut the fuck up. Just saying. Back to the story, though. Michael Wilson, 32, is accused of trying to kill his wife after he attached electrical devices to the inside of the deadbolt lock and the door handle of their Palm Coast home, according to a charging affidavit. The ploy, which could have easily led to her death, was to have her insert the house key and then grab the handle, completing the circuit and sending a jolt of electricity through her arm, chest, and heart. Fortunately for Wilson's wife, who was in Knoxville, Tennessee with family at the time, she never took hold of that doorknob. Her stepfather, John Flossitz, became suspicious after she told him Wilson had warned her not to let a child touch it. Step number 1 to setting a trap: don't tell anybody, you stupid shit. Especially don't tell your target. Again, I don't advocate for this, but it's just common sense. Flossitz went to examine the house with his wife Alyssa, and they found the word "hi" and a drawing of 2 eyes and what appeared to be lipstick on the back sliding door, according to the deputy's report. He contacted the authorities, and when they responded to the address on Tuesday, they found the front door was barricaded and locked. Burn marks were seen near the door's handle. A kick to the door sent off a large spark. On the other side was an elaborate rigging consisting of 2 chairs, a child's high chair, blue tape, a shower-type rod, electrical cords, wiring, some of which was cut from a bedroom salt rock lamp, and a car battery charger with clamps. What the... What in the fuck? Oh, wow. There is a lot more, and I'm going to try and skim over some of it to get some of the basic things here. In addition to the electric rigging, the deputies did find a series of strange items, such as pictures of a sonogram on the kitchen table, sticky note love letters in the bedroom with a photo album showing Wilson and his wife together, and the wife's recently installed smart cameras dumped in the toilet. In an interview with Wilson's wife shed light on the scene. She said that a few months ago, her husband fell, but he refused to seek medical treatment. Up till that point, he seemed to be a normal person, she told the detective. He was later hospitalized under Florida's Baker Act, which allows for someone to be involuntarily taken into custody for mental evaluation, late November. While he was absent, she obtained a revolver from her stepfather, which she hid in a kitchen cabinet, and installed 2 smart cameras that sent video feeds to her phone. Smart thinking. Wilson eventually apologized for his behavior, and she asked him to join her in Knoxville, where she was spending the holiday with her family and her children. He arrived there December 21st. The next evening, however, he suddenly got up while they were watching television around midnight and left. In the morning, she began to receive text messages from him, who insisted that she was cheating on him. Because, of course, that justifies trying to electrocute your wife with the door handle. And she said he didn't return until 4:30 on the 24th. About 40 hours later, he was probably one of those assholes that's trying to beat through Atlanta too, because from Knoxville to where is it?
Palm Coast,
and back. Yeah, you would need about 40 hours unless he flew. But I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, in the time he was gone, she received an alert on her phone that the smart cameras in the home were disconnected. Wilson also made comments that made her believe that he had visited the home during the absence, including inquiring about the location of the firearm and cameras. He also advised her to use the front door of the home because the garage door isn't going to open. This is when she told her stepfather, and he checked the home. And, of course, and now the guy's been arrested on a warrant as of last Thursday up in Knoxville, and he's going to be extradited to Flagler County. And here's the kicker. A Facebook page belonging to Wilson shows him gripping 2 handguns, and he boasts that he is the guy that your father warned you about, and also lists him as widowed. Okay, this is a segment I am bringing around and calling, "You should not do this, but if you are going to, this is what you do." If you're going to set any kind of trap for anybody, it requires a goddamn Batman gambit. You know, trying to obviously direct this woman into your trap kind of sets off a red flag. You dumb shit. And you're a dumb shit also for, trying to kill your wife in the first place because you think she's cheating on you? It's like, sorry, infidelity is not a cause for death. Not in America. Shouldn't be a cause for death anywhere, but I digress. Erin, what do you have to say about this?
I just look at this. Okay, let's. I'm not defending this guy at all, but let's mitigate the fact that this man has obviously apparently suffered some major brain injury in that fall that he took.
Right.
So I'm hoping that, while he was justifiably arrested and bonded and will hopefully suffer for what he did, will hopefully pay the price for what he did, not suffer, but hopefully I hope this man at least finally gets the medical attention he refused to get in the first place, because this is not normal.
Right.
And honestly, the car battery attached to it, I immediately think of one of two things. One, this is the worst Saw remake ever made. And two, I'm looking at this, I'm going, we have an alleged family film coming out next year where this actually happens.
Wait, what?
If you have seen the trailers for the upcoming Peter Rabbit movie, which is causing Beatrix Potter to revolve heavily in her grave, the damn rabbits basically hook a car battery up to a doorknob on this guy's house when this new guy moves into the neighborhood and immediately fences off his garden from it. He's like Mr. McGregor, apparently. He's this version of Mr. McGregor.
Wow.
And the rabbit's response is to start Home Aloneing the shit out of him.
Wow. I got nothing.
If you have not seen the trailer, go on YouTube and look it up. You will be appalled.
I'm appalled just hearing about it.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
I mean, if you are going to Home Alone something, this is the time of year. But on the other hand, if you're going to murder somebody, maybe you should have studied, like, any murder that's ever taken place at all, period. Because the thing that you should not do when you murder somebody is leave all of your evidence all over the fucking place. You shouldn't, tip people off that you're going to murder somebody, and you definitely shouldn't update your fucking Facebook status first.
Yeah.
Before you have murdered that person. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just I'm going to echo Erin's sentiment there. I do hope he gets the help he obviously needs. I'm glad the fucker's in jail. Thank you police for putting him in jail. Get help, dude. Get help. But speaking of crimes that can actually I guess pay off, I suppose, that can go successfully. We got another one out of Florida. This one, again, just a sense of random. Nobody got hurt, although somebody lost some money. Fort Lauderdale, a gunman was in and out seconds during a Family Dollar store robbery earlier this month in Fort Lauderdale. The December 3rd armed robbery was captured on surveillance video by Fort Lauderdale police Tuesday. Video shows the gunman running into the store and jumping onto the counter. After an employee runs out of the camera's view, the gunman jumps down and snatches the money out of a customer's hand. The robbery lasted about 10 seconds, nobody was injured, and police didn't say how much money the thief took. Again, I don't advocate for this, but if you're going to do it, this is how you do it. You don't sit there for you try not to sit there for 5 minutes and allow the cameras to get a good beat on you. You get in there, get your shit, get out. That's how you do it. And then that's going to be that much harder for somebody to come after you unless they get a really good shot in the camera. Or unless you're just really well known and maybe just don't wear a mask or whatever. But still, you get in there, you get out. That's why, if you kill, again, not advocating for this, but if you go and you just shoot somebody on the street and just run and nobody really sees you, odds are they're not going to find you unless you leave some sort of some other evidence besides the bullet behind. And even then, that's not guaranteed to find you either. It's the premeditated ones, the points where you can leave behind all of this evidence, like the previous guy did. That's bound to get you caught, unless you're just absolutely that good. Kat, what do you think?
Now I'm sitting here thinking about the most successful, small-time robberies I can think of, and I'm going down a path I don't think I want to go down right now.
Oh no.
Just thinking about, how do you rob somebody successfully? And this actually happened in the parking lot of my Best Buy when I still worked there. Somebody was walking out with their purchase of whatever it was and just got jumped in the parking lot. Like some car drove by, they ripped the shit out of her hand, hit her, and drove off. And I'm like, well, damn, I think if I had to rob somebody, if I absolutely had to rob somebody, that's probably how I would do it.
Yeah.
Just, like she wasn't terribly hurt, severely traumatized after that, obviously. But, no guns were pulled out or anything. Nobody was shot.
Yeah.
Wasn't cash, but, the theft rings that are in my area don't want cash. They want certain items, and she had one of those things. So it's like, holy shit. Yeesh. Anyway, now I'm on a tangent of stuff I don't want to be thinking about.
Yeah. So, Erin, what about you? What do you think?
It's okay.
Just
the only thing I've got is that GIF that was floating around a couple of years ago of what looked like a security camera in a convenience store, where suddenly there was an explosion off screen and 3 ostriches and a luchador rushed in. The luchador bashed the customer's head against the counter, jumped up on the counter, and struck a pose. That's like the only thing I can think of in relation to this store. If you haven't seen that GIF, it is an amazing thing. I don't know if it was just, if it was a mock-up or if it was a clip from a movie, but I looked at it and I'm like, this is the greatest GIF on the internet.
I'm imagining this. Oh my god. I'm going to have to find it later. Holy shit.
Show.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Nothing to contribute. It sounds like the guy maybe got like $20 at best.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like, nowadays $20, depending on your social class.
He ran in and took the money of a customer at a Family Dollar. Come on, it's not going to be that much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can get maybe a pop. There you go. Granted, a 2-liter bottle of pop.
The story doesn't say he took anything out of the register. He just grabbed the money out of somebody's hand.
Right.
So.
Oh well. But yeah, this next one, now the link says it's from Tampa Bay, but the news story itself is actually out of Illinois. And this, I put this in here because I get to make a reference I don't get to make very often. You'll understand when I get there. Kathy Gilroy has crusaded against gambling for decades, speaking out against casinos, illegal raffles, and the recent wave of video poker cafes. Oh boy, I've seen a lot of those in truck stops. As one of the most visible gaming opponents in Illinois, what they mean is gambling, not just gaming. She has warned that the vice erodes society's values and work ethic, takes money from poor people, and can lead to addiction, bankruptcy, crime, and suicide.
All of which are true, actually, to varying degrees.
Yeah, but that can also be true about many vices as well.
Well, yeah, I know that. But...
Yeah. Just this year, she blew the whistle on a $1.6 million Queen of Hearts raffle put on by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post in rural Morris, Illinois, forcing it to shut down hours before the planned drawing until the raffle was properly licensed. So even she concedes it may seem ironic that she recently won $25,000 by playing a sweepstakes game at a gambling cafe in her hometown of Villa Park, which I just want to mention, Villa Park is right outside of Chicago. I called a pastor friend and said, "Oh my God, should I send it back? What do I do? Do I donate it?" She said. He said, "Don't feel guilty. You just got paid for all your volunteer work against gambling. It's God showing his grace on me." Despite her longtime anti-gambling activism, it turns out Gilroy has a history of playing and winning sweepstakes. She says she's landed prizes, including electronics and trips to the Bahamas and California. She once won a big screen TV from a mechanic, but asked instead for $1,000 in service. A week later, her transmission went out, and she quickly got her money's worth. She'll even play the video poker machines at gambling cafes if she is given a free promo card. The distinction Gilroy makes is that she was not spending her own money to gamble. She enters sweepstakes because, by state law, they must be made available free of charge. And, unlike the VFW game that was not licensed as required by law, she says the sweepstakes she plays are perfectly legal. Still, Morris VFW commander Jerry Zerobrowski was perplexed to hear that Gilroy had won a sweepstakes. It's ironic that someone who's anti-gambling would enter something like that, he said. That's a little hypocrisy there, don't you think? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I am not Alanis. Gilroy, 68, who works selling supplemental health insurance for people on Medicare, shrugs off the negative comments she's gotten over the years, such as when she succeeded in halting a raffle to raise money for needy college students because it was unlicensed and not put on by a nonprofit as required by law. So you're the equivalent of the fuckers, I want to say it was like within the last decade, that shut down a kid stand in South Florida, kids' lemonade stand, because they didn't have an occupational license. You're one of those fuckers.
And she probably sent that letter about the Christmas decorations.
Probably.
Down with this woman. Down with her.
Insert clip from the Burn the Witch scene of Monty Python and the Holy Grail here.
Yes. Oh. But there's a bit more about her backstory and everything. But she does say it's the gambling that she opposes, not the sweepstakes. But see, Miss Gilroy, there's something you miss. It's not, these poker games, these sweepstakes or whatever. It's not gambling. It's a chance you take. And that is a
Wait, hold it. Hang on.
Yes.
It's not gambling. It's a chance you take.
Yes.
That's gambling.
Exactly. See, and now.
She said that. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that.
No, neither of us said that. Okay. The reason why I make that I bring that up is we've had similar things go on down here in Graceville as well. We have a couple of bingo halls, and of course some of the more hoity-toity waspy motherfuckers, and it's almost always white people doing this. Again, fucking white people. That they're all against the bingo halls. Well, you shouldn't be gambling at God's house. Blah 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 blah. Thankfully, our city commissioners and our mayor is they actually understand how the economy works. So they're like, yeah, keep them here because they're bringing in revenue, you stupid fuckers, But I will never forget, and this is true, there is actually a 2-part documentary. You can find it on YouTube. Just look up Graceville Bingo. But one of the ladies that was running a bingo hall at the time defended the bingo hall by saying, well, it's not gambling, it's just a chance you take. And I swear that is true. And it's like, and that's actually probably some of the same justification that Gilroy here makes whenever she does some of these sweepstakes, whether it's on her dime or not. It's just a chance you take. It's not gambling. It's like,
The literal definition of gambling.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and in terms of the lady who was running the bingo hall, at the time I'm like, lady, I'm on your side, but that's the stupidest thing you've ever said. Kat, do you have anything to add to all this?
The thing about gambling is that if you do it right, you can regulate it. So I live in an area where we have casinos. We have a crazy amount of casinos in St. Louis and Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And they are all heavily taxed. Actually, we vote to increase the tax on casinos like all the time. And all the tax money on it and stuff goes to schools. So it's actually like, it's decent for the economy. It creates a lot of jobs. Obviously, there's like people with gambling addictions, and that's why we have like billboards all over town with hotlines that you can call if you have a gambling addiction. And obviously, like there's legislation in place to do whatever to help people with gambling addictions not actually be allowed to gamble, stuff like that. So just because gambling exists does not inherently mean that it is irresponsible.
Yeah.
Or that that it is bad in any way. It can be good. I'm not a fan of the casinos, but that's just because a lot of them allow smoking inside, so I can't even go into them without feeling like I'm gonna die. But they have good buffets, so there's that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
There you go. There's the new slogan. St. Louis casinos. They have buffets, so there's that.
well,
Cat Thompson approved.
One of the local casino taglines is "Home of the loosest slots."
Oh God, I think I've probably seen that.
Like,
honestly, I've seen that one for years.
Yeah.
There's the jingle, "Home of the loosest slots." Like, seriously?
Oh God! Now I just got that scene from Beavis and Butthead Do America where they're talking to the old lady on the bus, and it's just like,
we're gonna do some slots.
Have you? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, there's tons of slots. The loosest slots you can find.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was Cloris Leachman as the old lady.
Yep.
Oh my God. So anyway, gambling can be okay if you allow it into your town and you opt to regulate it, which I think St. Louis used to have riverboat gambling. And you could only gamble if it was on the riverboat. And then they said, fuck it. But all of the casinos are on rivers. So
yeah,
cool.
There you go.
There's that.
Yeah, you know.
I wouldn't know about that. I live in Utah. Where basically my second job is working for the state liquor store. Yes, if you want to buy anything harder than 3.2% alcohol beverages, you have to go to a state-run liquor store, and the amount of hoops we have to jump through is ridiculous. Okay, and it always confuses the hell out-of-state visitors. It's like people come in, hey, you got this, you got that? No, because you can buy that in the grocery store. Yeah, but that's lower percentage. I said, yeah, and it ain't here. Yeah. State won't stock anything that you can buy in the grocery store. And then it's like they change the rules on us. Basically, if you come to Utah and you want to buy booze at a state liquor store and you're 40 years old or under, get ready to be asked for your ID.
You know what? I don't mind flashing my ID.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do live in Utah, which is, it's illegal to actually have fun in Utah.
Oh, yeah, I know. As I tell people, it's like, welcome to Utah, where they say you can't legislate morality, but that's not going to stop us from trying.
Yeah. And you know, I'm also reminded, you know, Alabama, which I want to remind and inform listeners, I live 3 miles south of Alabama. They have had, over the years, issues with having like casinos and all that, people fighting whether or not to have them in. There was like one that's like, I want to say about 20 or 30 minutes from my house. That was there until Alabama got together and they're like, nah, we don't want this here because it's going to promote the gamblings and then the blah, 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 blah. You know, the same logic this Gilroy lady has been using. And it's just, guys, it's going to boost up your economy. Stop it. Although I will say, thank you, Alabama, for not electing Roy Moore. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Because we do not need any goddamn ephebophiles in the fucking Senate. And why ephebophile instead of pedophile? Well, it's a little bit more accurate. Plus, I think ephebophile it does not sound as condescending to the victim because the victims are not technically children. But that is a little that's hair splitting on my end. At any rate, we're gonna go from that. We're gonna go to Maine. So everybody's heard the story about the old couple that was caught taking like, what was it, like 60 pounds of marijuana across state lines or whatever. Well, this guy decided to try a different thing. A man in Hancock County, Maine, has been charged after police said they found 110 bags of crack inside his intestines. Stephen Perkins, 27, had each bag individually wrapped and put inside his intestines, according to Hancock County District Attorney Matt Foster. Foster said Perkins, as well as 4 other suspects from New York, were arrested after they allegedly opened fire on a man Wednesday night. The 4 suspects and Perkins have been charged with aggravated trafficking of a scheduled drug, in addition to their other charges related to the alleged shooting. Perkins is facing an additional larceny charge, the Bangor Daily News reported. All 5 were arraigned through a video conference, and at the time of this article, none of them have posted the $250,000 cash bail. Okay. Hid it inside his intestines. You realize there's only one way to get it in there. That quickly. He put crack in his crack. Ow.
We are 12.
Yes, we are. because the person who put this news file together is a mature adult. That would be me.
Well, how far in the intestines, I wonder? Because depending, could he have swallowed it?
I
could have.
Let it go down?
I would, but that is one possibility. The reason why I kind of discount it is stomach acid. I don't know how well.
Well, there is some plastics that you can seal it in that are immune to hydrochloric acid.
Oh, okay. I did not know this.
That it just gets passed through the system. It's not pleasant, but
okay.
What is where this type of story is concerned.
This is true. Okay.
I would think it would be easier to swallow it and get it to go down in the intestines than to shove it up and get it into the intestines.
Yeah, I can see that, and admittedly, I did not realize the plastic thing. I mean, I know not everything can dissolve in your hydrochloric the stomach acid and everything. I do realize that. I just didn't think that there were plastics that were in that category. So I learned something today. But still, 110? Jeebus, dude! I don't care how you got it in there. Holy shit!
That would actually be a very painful shit.
Yeah. It's just, oh, no.
And then, God forbid you if any of those bags ruptured.
Oh, no.
Because that can fucking kill you.
Yeah?
That's my first thought was, wow, that guy would die.
Yeah?
For sure. And they'd be out of all their product.
Mm-hmm. Just,
no.
Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. Moral of the story. Don't shove bags of crack inside your intestines in either direction.
Also, probably don't do anything with crack, period.
Crack is whack.
Maybe don't be part of the drug trade.
Yeah, let's not do that. Not, just no. Now, I believe, yep, our last news story for this week. Oh, this feels like it's went on a little long. Well, maybe it has. But we've had 2 months. Or it could just be.
And we've been entertaining, hopefully, which is truly the greatest holiday gift of all.
Yes.
The gift of laughter and disbelief.
Yes.
And suddenly iguanas.
Yes. Oh, so this last one comes out of, I believe it is New York City. Get buff in the buff this new year. Hanson Fitness, no word on whether or not it's related to the musical Hansons, which boasts current such celebrity clients as Rihanna, Julia Roberts, and Tom Cruise, will be holding naked personal fitness classes to kick off 2018. On January 5th at 6 p.m., so 4 days from when this goes live, the fitness studio will have its first nude personal training session. The studio initially plans to host 3 sessions a week. 1 mix, 1 for men, and 1 for women. Located in Soho, the class will be a total body workout that uses your weight as resistance to work the glute, butt, legs, and core, making you look and feel good naked, the company said in a press release. New year, nude you, they say. Hanson Studio founder Harry Hanson, fitness guru, said in the release, "Our approach makes sure our members get and stay in the absolute best shape, and our new naked personal fitness sessions are no exception. The new development brings with it a range of fitness and health benefits and allows our members to have a little cheeky fun in the process." Ha ha. While naked yoga has become an increasingly trendy and popular exercise, few places do full body workouts in the nude. NKD Training in the UK has naked gym training, but it's for men only. What, women can't bulk up? What?
No, you don't understand what happens to women's boobs when you work out.
Yeah, they shrink, don't they?
Oh my god, just thinking about that flying around, like big titted women with their boobs flying all over the place, that would be so painful.
There is
Yeah,
that.
think about it, Gomer. I got that the second it came out of her mouth, and immediately you're like, makes her boobs smaller? No, Gomer.
I was thinking too far ahead.
Up and hit someone in the eye. Like,
Exactly. You know, that's yeah. That's where I went. I'm like, you've heard the old joke about the large-chested women on trampolines, right? She gives herself a couple of black eyes with those things.
Yeah.
That's the first thing is like, as soon as you're talking about naked workout, I just grab my boobs and going, no, we're never doing that, girls. It's never happening. It's never happening. Like,
Okay.
it's so hard to even find a sports bra that keeps you like locked tight there so that you're not having all that motion. Like, the concept of like naked yoga, I guess I could get.
Yeah.
If that was your thing, because it's gentle movement, you know, like that's not doing anything. But like, can you imagine being on a treadmill with like 2 sacks of rice hanging off your chest? Any sort of movement is just gonna whack you in the face, and it's gonna pull painfully.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And
I mean, God help us if there's naked Zumba.
oh boy. But
Gomer.
yeah, I will admit, I was thinking a little too far ahead. That one. Like, because I'm thinking gym training. I'm like, okay, you're bulking up, so that means, you know, they're getting smaller. Too far ahead. That's what I get. But Hansen Fitness says that working out nude keeps you cooler, releases endorphins, increases body awareness, and gives you unrestricted movement, plus less laundry. Never mind the boob question, because that's an obvious thing that they don't get into in this article. If guests are uncomfortable training in the complete nude color underwear is permitted. I would assume that also accounts for bras. So if, you know, I'm assuming. It doesn't say. Contact the studio to book a spot, find out private sessions, and inquire about costs. If naked yoga is more your speed, head to Bold and Naked Yoga Studio in Midtown West, which has naked and clothed yoga classes, private sessions, and other training programs. So all in all, unfortunate titty flying aside, you know, naked, doing anything naked, if that's your thing, do it. You know, if you're comfortable enough to do it and you can handle it, do it. You know, I don't care who you are. I do like where they're going with this. They're going for a more body positive thing with this, and their heart is in the right place on this one. You know, as Kat pointed out, you know, there are the inherent problems for, like, you know, rather large-breasted women, but, you know, but again, the nude colored underwear, I would assume that would include a sports bra, which if then again, if it's like anything else, they may not have anything that fits properly for everybody anyway, because apparently a lot of mainstream don't realize that there are cup sizes above a double D.
I don't think they're providing the nude colored underwear.
Okay. It
just says that it's permitted.
Okay.
Probably bring your own.
Okay. I read into that what I wanted to, apparently. But either way, you know, that is at least still an option. So, and I would think they would understand. I would hope. You know, I live in hope. So now that I've kind of bumbled through that one, oh wow, how long have we been going?
I don't know, but I really have to pee, so if we could speed this along, that would be fantastic.
Okay, we could do that. So we can all go take care of our business there. So with that is going to be our show for this time. Hopefully, one of the things I want to try to do in 2018 is to keep this more often as I possibly can. Actually, you know, get up and talk to my dispatchers and everybody at my company and let them know, hey, I need to make this a weekly thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to flail and flounder, and I'm probably going to just be, you know, among other things. And of course, you guys are not going to have this, and so we need to have this. So it's kind of a thing we need to do for everybody here. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Erin, if we wanted to find you on the internet, where could we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Shallow15, SHALLOW15. You can also find me on YouTube, youtube.com/DubiousKhan, DUBIOUSKHAN. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/DubiousKhan. Please throw me money. I would really like to not have to work 2 jobs. And as always, I do also throw my stuff up occasionally. I, again, have still not updated everything on rtgomer.com.
Yay! And Kat, where could we find you?
You can check out my other show, What the Fuck Over with Josh Hadley, on 1201beyond.com, and my other show, Nerd to the Third Power, which is on YouTube and iTunes and This Week in Geek.
Sweet! And if you want to find me doing things as I possibly can, I do have, of course, I'm on rtgomer.com and nerdvice.com. I also, again, I have my own YouTube, youtube.com/Gomer21XX. In fact, Gomer21XX, you can find me just about anywhere on there. Twitter, Tumblr, even Reddit. Between the last show and this one, VidMe kind of just went tits up, so I'm not there anymore, unfortunately. But just plug in Gomer21XX. Odds are you'll find me. If you want to find me on Facebook, go to the Gomer the Ranting Thespian Facebook page if you want to find me there. What else do I have? It has been way too long since I've done this. Yes, and as I said at the beginning of the show, we can be found on iTunes and Stitcher. So if you want to subscribe on either one of those, I do have a Patreon, which does get mentioned in the post bumper, but I'm going to mention it here as well in case you guys want to just click off or whatever. That is patreon.com/Gomer21XX. And I likewise would like to rather not, similar to Erin's situation, I would rather be doing things like this with my time and get paid for it and make my living that way than driving a truck. Don't get me wrong, the driving is good money, but it's not as satisfying. But people on Patreon, those of you who are still my patrons, even after all of this shit, even after Patreon's hiccupy bullshit that happened, thank you for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. I feel like I don't say that enough. Thank you guys. It does mean a lot, even if it's not a whole lot. Just knowing that you guys are there supporting me and supporting things like this show, the vlogs, the Let's Plays, and everything. It does mean a lot, and I do appreciate it. And of course, and if you're looking at this, shiny new title card. Becky made a new shiny title card for this, and her website is becky-hopkins.com. Go check her out. It has links to her comic Otherworldly, her Patreon, where you can go and commission her for some really good stuff. Seriously,
wait. Am I actually on the title card now?
Actually, it's a generic title card.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it was her idea.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's cool. I'm not mad. I just thought that I was expecting that. Honestly.
Yeah. Admittedly, I was too. But she's like, just in case, we have things that go around, generic one, then that should work. So yes, go check out everything. All of the stuff where we can all be found is in the doobly-doo. And of course, if you want to write into the show, write into Thespian Talk at rtgproductions.net. I didn't have time to give it a check this last time. Otherwise, I could have seen whether or not we had emails. If we do, by the time the next time comes around, we'll read them out. We'll answer questions, do whatever. And of course, you can also find the show on YouTube as well. I keep forgetting to mention that, even though that is in the doobly-doo. So with that. That's enough rambling out of us. We've got to go take care of things, and it's New Year's Eve for us. So for you guys, Happy New Year! And until next time, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Erin Mills, aka DubiousKhan, and the Cat, signing off.
Thespian Talk is an RT Gomer Productions presentation. Our show's theme is Kick Shock by Kevin MacLeod. Find out more at incompetech.com. If you like this show and want to help support future episodes, head over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX. For a contribution as little as $1 per production, you can get early access to all future productions, as well as monthly Patreon-only vlogs and announcements. Our show's artwork was produced by the talented Becky Hopkins, who can be commissioned by going to patreon.com/BeckyHop. Check us out on iTunes or visit rtgomer.com for more great shows.
Suddenly iguanas!